Business owners and my fellow citizens. My name is Daryl Guberman. I'm the CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. We've been open now 11 years, going on 12 as far as August next year of 2023. Business owners, many of you have gotten in touch with me and some of the videos I have already done. And I told them about several weeks ago, I placed a 54-page document knowing full well that I probably would not get on the board of the American National Standards Institute. And it is because of the nominating chairman, Russ Chaney. I'm going to illustrate to you how Russ Chaney is not only the nomination chairman, but he's the chairman that looks at violations of codes of conduct. So he's basically, inspecting himself. I want to ask you, after you hear this video, do you feel that ANSI has any impartiality? ANSI, who took over complete control over the American National Crediting Board in 2018. They both work in concert with each other. ANAB, sometimes an accreditation body, sometimes a registration body, depending. I've seen ANAB laboratory certs with A2LA on it and all the rest of that mess. So they go back and forth. Is there truly quality? This video today is about Russ Chaney, ANSI nomination chairman, violates ANSI code of conduct, approved 2018. He basically is looking at himself doing an evaluation. Let me continue, and let me read one part of the violations of the code of conduct. Violations of this code will result in disciplinary action against participants, which may include termination of participants, continued participation, and or termination of ANSI membership status of the ANSI member on whose behalf the participants act. Well, this is the actual chairman, and the way he acted was, number one, not professional, and number two, he should have been released. Let's continue. You have ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, is a 100-year-old corporation, not-for-profit. They have both federal agencies and corporations on board. And this is the important part. They always talk about impartiality, oversight. Business owners, they will also come out with the word robust or transparent. 9 times out of 10, anybody who utilizes robust or transparent is usually not telling the truth. And usually the system or the product is not as robust as they stress. In 2015, Randy Doherty, the vice president of ANAB, the chairman of the IAF, he was also sitting on the IAF as principal, as a treasurer as well, and the principal in the 990 tax firm. He handed over leadership to Zhao Jinwu, a communist Chinese national, who is also at the time the chairman of the China National Accreditation Services. He's the chief executive. He was seen in Wuhan, China in 2017 in the same Bio4 laboratory that was suspect in the release of the COVID-19 virus. He has Chinese national intelligence law, article number 7, so that mandates any Chinese national working in foreign territories or foreign land is supposed to cultivate information and data, a cybersecurity issue. He's been involved with our quality since 1994. You have ANSI and ANAB. ANSI took over complete control over ANAB in 2018, as I told you, and you have a sample of both federal agencies and corporations on the board of ANSI. ANSI changed the name from members of and management to to members roster due to the fact that I brought up in several of my past videos that when you have members and management, that means there's a deciding factor. You'll also discover when you dig deep enough, you'll find out that there are some government agency employees who sit on ANSI getting paid very nicely for working a very short time. And it's called a royalty payment, but they changed that name too because a royalty payment, as per the IRS information or definition, is a non-taxable payment. Nobody from ANSI has ever retorted or ever responded to that. But I will say this as well. In 2019, yes, it's only 3 years ago, but I have to show you this so that you don't get in your head, oh, Daryl is doing it because he didn't get elected on ANSI's board. Well, I'm sorry to say this. You're absolutely wrong. I've had dealings with Russ Chaney, not personally, but over the phone, and I will let you listen to his little tiny message, and let's keep on going. So I exposed the fact in 2019 that A2LA, an accreditation body for laboratory, and the reason why I did this is Pamela Sales, who's the vice president of laboratory accreditation, stated under deposition in Texas that from one laboratory to another, there are inconsistencies. So who do they sit by as well on ANSI is ASCLD Lab, which is owned by ANAB. ANAB does laboratory accreditation too. It's just unbelievably incestuous. So I exposed that, and I also exposed the factor that A2LA sits on IAF, and at that time, they were being watched over by communist China. And Ashley Morton wrote underneath the video, and she said this, and she works for A2LA. She said, A2LA does not sit on ANSI. They are both American accreditation bodies with equal standing. Isn't that sweet? Well, what happened is I did a video, and I showed again. I said, Ashley, take a look at this. A2LA, this does not lie. It's a factual. I have all the data. If you want, please call me. I'll send it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, business owners, 203-556-1493. And what happened is that night, after Ashley wrote that, and after I exposed that, a dear old Russ Chaney called. Now, he's the nominating chairman. He's the one that is supposed to look at this book, impartially look at it, and make a judgment on it. Well, I want to show you this. I want to let you listen to this. Maybe I'll let you listen to it several times because it is absolutely unbelievable. And here it is, business owners.
This is Russ Chaney. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Record your...
Yes, he did say, half a nut, fuck you. We will play it again.
This is Russ Chaney. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Record your...
So do you think me submitting this, okay, and him saying that in 2019, is there any impartial oversight? Would he recuse himself? Because he can't, because he's the nominating chairman. So rather than do it fairly, he said, no, we can't let Guberman on here because you know something. When you live with integrity, honesty, and the truth, and this is what Russ Chaney lives with, let's do it again.
This is Russ Chaney. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Record your...
In fact, if you look on the Urban Dictionary today, this is not the same definition that I originally got it, snapshot with the link. I originally got it in 2019. What happened is we wrote to Joe Batia. This failure is for another video, but you have Boeing sitting over by the FAA. The FAA seceded inspection to Boeing to build the 737 MAX. The FAA went like this. If it's Boeing, don't get going. Medical, you have Pfizer. Pfizer who skipped quality processes in the processing of COVID vaccine. You have Johnson & Johnson, and these all sit on ANSI right over by the FAA and FDA. I mean the FDA and USDA. And then you have Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer. Pfizer, I told you, skip quality processes. You have Johnson & Johnson, 60 million vials of COVID vaccine. were taken off the shelf because of contamination. These are articles that I have. You'll find them down below. So Joe sent my letter off to this guy here. This is the attorney, Jameson Carroll. Okay, and remember this. All of this fluff and crap about having code of conduct. Listen to what this guy says. When, I sent him the audio file of Russ Chaney. And this is what he said, and I'm going to play it for you once again, business owners and my fellow citizens. Here it is.
This is Russ Chaney. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Record your...
And this is, and this is the reply that he gave. Let's play it again.
This is Russ Chaney. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Record your...
Yes, he said that. He answered that in a letter. I don't make these things up. Here is the lawyer. He should step down because he must. The problem, though, too, is the American Bar Association and ANSI are deeply immersed in making standards and dealing with each other, cavorting with each other happily. So I don't put much weight in the American Bar or this guy. So, business owners, we put in our 54-page document. Do you think for a moment there would be impartiality? You tell me. Please, write some answers down below this video. I'm sorry for the length of it, but I want to let you know this is not sour grapes. This is an impropriety of the violations of the code of conduct. This is violations of ANSI's own code, and they didn't do anything with this guy. 203-556-1493 or Daryl, DARYTQRS @yahoo.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care and have a great day.